All right, let's jump right in. We're going to cut through all the noise, all the sci-fi stuff, and follow the hard data to see what's really going on with the AI revolution. Because it's a story that's moving faster than almost anyone can track. And it all kicks off with one absolutely mind-blowing number.
100 million. That is how many people started using ChatGPT in just 2 months. To put that in perspective for you, it took the telephone 75 years to get there. The internet, 7 years. This wasn't just some hot new app. It was a global shift happening practically overnight.
That unbelievable speed, that was the spark. It was the first domino to tip over, setting off this massive chain reaction that is now, piece by piece, reshaping our entire world from the ground up.
So the very first domino to fall? That was consumer adoption. When millions of regular people, you and me, get their hands on something this powerful, it stops being a novelty. It completely resets what we expect from technology and sends this huge wave crashing into every other part of society.
And you know, the growth didn't just keep going, it actually accelerated. After the first wave, the user base literally doubled again, shooting up from 400 to 800 million users in another 2-month sprint. This was the moment we all knew. Yeah, this isn't a fad. This is a fundamental change.
And it wasn't just about ChatGPT. Look at Google. They saw their token processing, which is basically just a measure of how much AI work they're doing, jump by over 100% in 2 months. People weren't just playing around. They were actually integrating the stuff into their daily work. And that consumer wave was about to hit the business world hard.
So while we were all discovering what AI could do, you can bet that businesses were watching very closely. This public explosion forced companies to move at a speed they are just not used to, pulling AI out of the R&D lab and putting it right at the heart of their operations.
So get this, enterprise adoption didn't just grow, it tripled in a single quarter. We went from about 1 in 10 companies using AI to 1 in 3. That isn't just gradual change. That's a tipping point, a light switch moment where companies went from, let's try a little pilot, to we need this everywhere, now.
Now, you'd think that the tech industry, the startups, would be leading the charge, right? Well, you'd be wrong. The data is fascinating here. It's the traditional industries, we're talking manufacturing, banking, healthcare, that are actually deploying AI faster. And why? Well, it's simple. They have huge, expensive, real-world problems that AI can start solving today.
Okay, so businesses are all in. The next domino, the revolution comes for the individual worker. We're seeing the beginning of the augmented worker, where these AI agents are becoming our collaborators, totally changing what a single person can achieve in a day.
And just look at how fast these agents are improving. It used to take about 7 months for their performance to double. Now, it doubles every 70 days. That's an exponential curve on steroids. It means that capabilities that sound like science fiction in January are just standard operating procedure by the time summer rolls around.
And this agent takeover is happening everywhere, but it's really being led by coding assistants. An incredible 77% of use cases are there, but it's quickly moving into everything else. Writing content, finding information, designing products. But all of this unbelievable growth, it is creating a huge hidden problem just beneath the surface.
All right, time for the next domino to fall. Because all of this incredible progress is putting a strain on our global infrastructure like we've never seen before. The systems that power our digital world, they are literally starting to break under the load.
The first major bottleneck is just raw power. JP Morgan estimates we're facing a 10-gigawatt shortfall in data center capacity. To put it simply, we're creating AI demand way faster than we can build the physical buildings and power plants to support it.
And the problem gets even worse. It's not just about building more data centers. AI workloads need 3 times the power density. That means you're packing way more power into the same physical space. Most of our existing data centers, they're now basically obsolete. They just weren't designed to handle that kind of intensity. They can't handle the heat.
And here's the final constraint, the real reality check. It takes up to 3 years, 36 months, to build one of these new AI-ready data centers. So this isn't a crisis that gets solved overnight.
And this huge bottleneck is creating a whole new set of economic rules.
So this infrastructure crisis, it leads us to one of the most fascinating parts of this whole story, the weird economics of AI. It's creating this brand new kind of economy that seems to completely defy the classic laws of supply and demand you learned in school.
To get this new economy, you really only need to understand one key concept: the token. Just think of it like the basic currency of AI. Every single thing you ask an AI to do, every question, every report it writes, it all has a cost. And that cost is measured in tokens.
And the demand for these tokens is just insane. We're talking a 4,300% surge year over year. So with demand exploding like that and a massive infrastructure supply problem, basic economics tells you the price should be doing one thing.
So costs are skyrocketing, right? I mean, more demand, less supply, prices have to be going through the roof. It's the only logical conclusion. Isn't it?
Nope, not even close. In fact, they're doing the exact opposite. This is what we're calling the Great AI Cost Paradox. Even as demand goes stratospheric, the actual cost to run an AI query, the inference cost, is plummeting. The software and the hardware are just getting so efficient, so fast, that prices are in a total free fall. And this crazy paradox, it's redrawing the entire global map.
So when you combine an infrastructure crisis with this paradoxical economy, the AI race suddenly becomes a geopolitical power game. The competition isn't just between Google and Microsoft anymore. It's between entire nations, and the winners are going to be decided by a completely new set of rules.
The new power centers in the world, they're not being defined by who has the fanciest office parks in Silicon Valley. No, they're being defined by who has access to abundant, cheap energy, who has smart, AI-friendly regulations, and who can build modern infrastructure the fastest. These are the things that will determine the winners and losers of the next century.
So let's just connect all the dots one last time. This is the AI domino effect. It started with a consumer explosion, which forced businesses to adopt it. That unleashed AI agents, which accelerated work to an insane degree. All that growth strained our infrastructure, which in turn created this bizarre new economy and started rewriting the rules of global power. You see, each domino falls, and it makes the next one fall even faster.
Look, the AI revolution isn't any single one of these things. It's the convergence of all of them, all happening at the same time. It's a multiplier effect on a scale we've never seen. So, knowing this, understanding how all these massive forces are connected, the real question for all of us becomes, where do you see the next domino falling?